Welcome back to Mortgage Moments. I'm Debbie Scarantino with the Bank of England Mortgage. Today we have some questions from some of our viewers regarding credit. And Lisa Mack is here with me. What questions do we have today?
Well, we're excited that we are getting a lot of questions off of our social marketing. The first one today would be, do you need perfect credit to buy a house?
No, you don't need perfect credit to buy a house. There are a lot of different programs out there for people with less than perfect credit. And I am a certified credit counselor, so if there's some problems with your credit, we can help you. But we can go down to credit scores as low as 580.
Oh, that's
so there are programs out there for everyone.
Excellent. Next, which I'm sure goes along with the first question, is it true you need a large down payment to buy a house?
No, it isn't true that you need a large down payment, and I do listen to some of the financial people on TV saying you should have 20% down, and I just don't agree with that. I know when I bought my first house, I didn't have a large down payment, and I know my parents didn't have a large down payment. I remember the day that they bought their first house, so you don't need a large down payment. Many of my clients close with no money to closing except for an appraisal.
Excellent. I would imagine that's good news for first-time buyers.
It is. You just have to live within your means. You know, if you're paying $900 a month rent, you don't want to get a $1,300 a month mortgage payment.
A lot of our questions come from renters who are hoping to own.
If they can pay their rent on time, there's no reason why they can't afford their mortgage payment. Sometimes it's even less than their rent.
Okay, well, we have one more question today. Can you buy a house if you have had a bankruptcy or a foreclosure?
Absolutely. The rule is for government loans, 2 years from the discharge date of your bankruptcy and 3 years from the date your house went back to the bank in foreclosure. And that becomes a problem. You really have to find out what date the deed went out of your name and back to the banks with a foreclosure, because I'm finding a lot of people that say, well, it was included in my bankruptcy, and I find out that the bank never foreclosed for 3 years or 4 years after the bankruptcy. So we do have to be very careful with knowing the date the house went back to the bank after a foreclosure. But by all means, you can purchase a house after a bankruptcy or after a foreclosure, and you would have had to establish some new credit after a bankruptcy.
It sounds to me like there's actually a lot of good news for people who may think they could not get a mortgage loan or get into their own home.
Absolutely. I get calls every day saying, well, I really want to buy a house, but I had a bankruptcy 3 or 4 years ago, and I don't think I qualify. So yes, you do qualify. There will be some criteria, like we do want to see that you have paid your rent on time, had history of housing, that you've established a trade line or two after your bankruptcy, and a good reason why you had your bankruptcy. Not just that I didn't feel like paying my bills. Most people file bankruptcy because of medical problems and medical bills.